After coming back from political oblivion, Rahul Gandhi, the Congress Party Vice President, has launched his sharpest attack yet on the Narendra Modi government. Reacting to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's jibe yesterday, Rahul Gandhi said, one man is calling all the shots in the BJP government. Launching an all-out attack, he accused the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh and the BJP of forcing their ideology on the country. He accused the Narendra Modi government of going back on its promises, saying it had failed to bring back black money stashed abroad. Attacking the government's Make in India initiative, the Congress Party Vice President urged Modi to take tutorials from former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh on the state of economy and how to bring it back on track.
डिसिप्लिन उनके लिए एक बहाना है। जो इंडिविजुअलिटी होती है ना, उसकी हत्या करने का बहाना है। जो हिंदुस्तान में लाखों आवाज हैं, उनको खत्म करने का बहाना है। भैया तुम लोग सीधी लाइन में खड़े रहो, चू नहीं करनी है। पता नहीं कैसे करते हैं, हाथ कैसे मारते हैं, आपको मालूम है। तो ये उनकी सोच। अब हुआ क्या है कि ये सोच आज हिंदुस्तान को चला रही है। मंगोलिया तक चले गए, चीन चले गए, मगर भैया किसान के घर नहीं गए, के घर नहीं गए। कहा था भैया ब्लैक मनी ले आएंगे, कितने दिन कहा था? 100 दिन, एक साल की का जन्मदिन मना रहे हैं, 100 दिन पता नहीं कब खत्म हो गए।
वो तार के ऊपर से पैर हटा,
ब्लैक मनी वापस नहीं आया।
Joining me now with the latest is headlines today is Shiv Arur. He joins me from the newsroom. Also with me is Ashar Ahmed Khan and our executive editor Javed Ansari. Shiv, this is Rahul Gandhi's sharpest attack yet on the Prime Minister, but he's also this time roped in the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh.
That's right, Gaurav. In fact, most of his speech was dedicated to a very sharp attack on the RSS itself. He did mention Narendra Modi, he did mention the BJP and the manner in which it's individualistically run, the fact that there's no democracy within the RSS or the BJP, but he devoted a large part of his speech attacking the RSS itself. He talked about how, the culture within the RSS harks back to Nazi Germany. He talked about how the ideology within the NSUI and the future of the Congress will always be democratic, even though there may be detractors. There have always been there has already been a very sharp response from the BJP to some of the things that Rahul Gandhi has actually said, but he hasn't taken on directly some of the things that have been said in the last 2 days by Narendra Modi, by Amit Shah and by Smriti Irani. He's chosen to give it back on his own terms, Gaurav, and in this season where we're seeing attacks of this kind, some of them very personal, taking place literally on an hour-to-hour basis, which Ashar and Javed have also been covering. The simple fact is, this is probably has been his sharpest attack, packed into just those 12 minutes of that speech at the NSUI convention, Gaurav.
Ashar, while there was an attack on the Prime Minister, there was an attack on the RSS, there was an attack on his political rival in his constituency, Smriti Irani, though not directly, not naming her, but talking about RSS ideology being forced on the country through the education system.
Well, absolutely. There were 2 points as far as education is concerned were made by the Congress Vice President. The first was that there has been a budget cut as far as education spending of the country is concerned. Secondly, he categorically stated that there is a major role and major hand which the RSS is now playing as far as the HRD ministry is concerned, as far as education of this country is concerned. And he also told the NSUI students that it is time that they should stand up against the RSS ideology, which Rahul Gandhi called as being infected within the university and the college system in this country. So Rahul Gandhi, after far, was now basically attacking the policy of this government as far as education in the country is concerned.
Yes. And Javed, Rahul Gandhi may have been on a 57-day sabbatical, but returning from that sabbatical, he's launching very sharp, precise attacks, and the canvas is now widening. It's not just Smriti Irani, it's not just the Prime Minister. Now he's also taking on the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh.
not only is he taking on these individuals and organizations, also look at the issues that he's raising. From the farmers issue, from land acquisition issue, to home buyers, to now one rank, one pension, and now this the issue relating to the education system in the country. Rahul Gandhi's, I think the strategy behind this is to broad base his appeal, to try and ensure that he doesn't become straight-jacketed and he's not bracketed on one issue leader, and that he should try and project himself as the champion of the underdogs, as one who's championing and who's rallying against everything that is supposed to be wrong with the present system.
Okay, and someone who's a part of that strategy meet on this new offensive launched by Rahul Gandhi now joins me on the phone line. Sanjay Jha, Congress Party spokesperson. Sanjay Jha, we see a new reloaded, relaunched Rahul Gandhi after the 57-day sabbatical. Take us through the strategy of the offensive that's being mounted.
Gaurav, good to hear you again. Principally, I think Mr. Gandhi has always fought for the right causes and for the principled causes that make a difference to the common man of India. And, for a long time, yes, it's true that, people thought that he was reticent, that he was not forthcoming on a public platform. And, at this point of time, you're seeing the real Rahul Gandhi. I mean, he's not just been taking on issues because they are there in the domain for public discussion, because he realizes that the challenges that India faces at this point of time requires a very different kind of solutions, something that the Modi government is pretty incapable of delivering on. So if you notice his speech today, Gaurav, you'll find a great emphasis on the increasing role of the RSS in the current Modi dispensation, particularly, disturbingly, in the HRD ministry, because education being such a critical ingredient in the development of our young people and especially the youth, it can actually embed India with some very dangerous sectarian philosophies. So I think, he's been basically talking about the fact that India needs, and that's the Congress philosophy really, that you express yourself, you be liberal, you got to be progressive, you got to be tolerant.
That was a very interesting...
That are not happening.
Yes, a very interesting comparison that he drew there between what happens at Congress party meetings and what happens at the RSS Shakha. And for more on this political slugfest, I have Sanjay Jha of the Congress with me. Sanjay Kaul of the BJP also joins us. Sanjay Jha, is there merit when Siddharthnath Singh says if the Prime Minister has travelled abroad for so many days, the nation knew where he was? Where was Rahul Gandhi for 57 days? No one knows.
Gaurav, let me tell you that the Bharatiya Janata Party is clearly very, very rattled. Every time that Mr. Gandhi has been taking them on in Parliament and outside, whether it's been the land ordinance bill, whether it's been about the real estate regulatory bill, etc. I think what you're finding is a typical overreaction by a party that is very hypersensitive to criticism. I'll give you an example. Look at the backtrack being done today by Mr. Kiran Raju. In fact, yesterday, he makes a statement. He's on audio tape, but he takes back his statement that he made on beef consumption. This is the inner party democracy in the Bharatiya Janata Party, where people are paranoid, they're scared, they are so inhibited because they are scared of the Lord and Master sitting in the PMO. So if this is the kind of internal communication within the BJP, then we have a serious national crisis brewing. You can't run
let me get Sanjay Kaul to respond to that. Sanjay Kaul, the attack is not just on the Prime Minister or the HRD Minister Smriti Irani. The attack is also on RSS and the allegation of saffronization of education in this country.
I'm not sure what the immediate basis for those kind of sort of reactions are, but I do believe that the fact that Manmohan Singh spent some time with Mr. Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister, seems to have riled more people than to have settled what we normally call a normal a civil reception to a former Prime Minister. I'm surprised that it has emboldened some old spokespersons of the party to come out and sort of throw accusations this side or that. The simple matter is that the former Minister went to see the current Prime Minister. And I don't think whatever is being said is absolutely either relevant or necessary. The important point is also that the sort of remarks that were made by the young leader of the Congress party were completely in poor taste.
Sanjay Kaul and Sanjay Shah, for the moment, many thanks for joining me from the BJP and the Congress.